Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of The Curse of the Collector. This is the show where we talk about some cool things that we have acquired in our collection because, as we know, the curse is real and there's never a shortage of things to buy and add to the shelves and to the stacks and to the closets to wherever, as you can see, there's lots of stuff that we can get and we can store and love and, all that kind of good stuff. So as always, we've each picked out two things that we've acquired recently, and we're going to briefly talk about each one of them. Let me introduce the crew. We'll start down at the bottom. Jamie Laszlo's in the house. All the way from Scotland. It's late in the day for him, but morning for us. Davey Gallagher. From down in Texas, we got Scott Berry. All the way up in Canada, Armando Venditti.
Good morning.
And from the state of Michigan, we've got Nick Usofian.
Representing the Rock in Detroit, Rock City.
There you go. And of course, I am Pete Pardo. So thanks for watching, everybody. So we're going to go in the same order I just introduced everybody. So Jamie, why don't you kick us off with your first thing that you've picked up that you want to show here on the curse?
Okay. Well, as some of you may know, I went to a concert last night and saw The Cult.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. So I made a last minute change. So on what I was going to show. So the opening acts were this chick named Zola Jesus. And I heard of her in 2017, I remember. So I was like, yeah, I remember her being kind of cool. And then Black Rebel Motorcycle Club was the middle act. And then The Cult. So I'm sitting there and I bought my Cult t-shirt, as you can see, $40. Not worth.
Do they have a nice selection? Because Chris Allo and I are going in like 2 weeks. So
no, the t-shirts suck. And they don't even have the colors right. This should not be red. They had the Sonic Temple and it's all purple instead of red. Yeah, it's what Iron Maiden, what the Eagles did to ticket prices in the 90s, Iron Maiden has done to t-shirts.
Yes.
They were one of the first to start charging $50 and everyone's like, hey, if they're doing it. Anyways, so I thought Zola Jesus was really good. Violinist, drummer, and bass player, no guitarist. So Pete, not for you. But it was really intense. She's kind of like Kate Bush, if Kate Bush was more gothic and tribal with tribal beats. So when she was over, I went back to the merch table and bought her new album. I don't even know what the hell it's called because I just got it last night, Archon. And then I bought the album I listened to in 2017 when I was streaming it. And in 2017, I listened to about 100 albums and I looked at my favorites from that year. And this came in at 48. So it was in the middle of the pack. Sorry, my cat scratched me today. And but I think because I listened to like 120 albums that year, I had a little bit of ADD in the downtime on here. I wasn't really grasping. But I think now that I listen to less albums a year, and now I'll take this and I'll digest it more. And then the next band came on, Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, and they jammed. Man, guy had a big Gibson from like 1960, he's doing a cool, not desert rock, but rock that would be cool to listen to while in the desert. So I went and got their album at the merch table from 2018. That's their last one. I don't know if they have a new one coming or not. And it, live, they rocked. On CD, they're cool. I did hear How about 18 years ago. Someone burned it for me, and that was decent. They're a bit neutered in the studio, but on stage, they rock hard. So, yeah, and I got a Cult koozie to drink beer out of today, and they gave me for free Cult flower seeds. And the flower seed packet looks like the new album, and of course, they're wildflower seeds. Get it? Wildflower. Yeah, it's a cool song.
That is swag, I'm telling you.
Yeah, my wife's like, can we plant these? No, we're not opening that.
It's a collectible. You better hide that somewhere, Jamie.
Yes.
Definitely collector's item.
So that's it.
Cool. I'm looking at Jamie's classic video games behind it. I'm like, man, I want to come over and play that this afternoon.
Come on over. It's about
I'm a big Galaga fan. I forget all the new video games. I like the old school stuff.
This has 60 games in it and all, too. That's just like Galaga.
Very cool. All right, Davey, you're up.
Thank you very much. So hello, everybody. Nice to see you again. My ultimate pickup this month, my number one pickup, of course, is my Sea of Tranquility beanie, which I think I should stick on right now. I mean, look at this. I mean, how fantastic. I mean, so it's head in, right?
I was gonna say, what is that? I don't know.
Close enough, close enough.
So you wear this, I guarantee you'll have a threesome within 25 minutes in the street. It's absolutely fantastic. They make me 65-year-old people, but
yes.
What else?
Moving on.
You're not invited, Armando.
Good.
Maybe. We'll see how it goes. My number one pickup this month in terms of just you and I have discussed it briefly online before, but I wanted to build up a few more of them to discuss not one particular thing, but just the label in general. It's a very small label who do a lot of stuff that SOT fans would go nuts for. They're a UK label called Sealy Court. And they produce a lot of different stuff where it's really obscure. Albums that were never released, demos that were never turned into full albums, live concerts from one and done bands, that kind of thing. So I picked out a couple of the ones that I've picked up. So that's Barney James, The Second Coming. This is Barney James would go on to be in Rick Wakeman's band, but the band here is sorry, I'm not holding this right at all. The band here is Warhorse, who's backing him, which is Nick Simper's band after he left Deep Purple. So they only made 2 records. So this is essentially the missing Warhorse album as well. So this is the kind of weird stuff that they put out, and they only do limited editions, but they're not expensive. That's the cool thing about them. They don't, we've got only 400 of these, so we'll charge through the wazoo. No, they're about £10 each. Flux, self-titled, it's a live album. This is kind of Crimson Red era stuff. Again, I'm not saying anything is as good as, but I'm comparing to as a point of reference. So Crimson Red, think that kind of era. A live concert. I love that album cover as well, considering it was never actually released. This is a new album cover. And it ends with an IRA bomb alert that ends the concert. And you get the full transcript of the show in the liner notes, including you'll have to stop your rock concert, boys. There's an IRA bomb threat out there. So nuts. Rainbird is a real Mellotron proggy thing. If you like your MIDI blues and stuff, you're going to be really into Rainbirds. And most of these, by the way, I should mention, come with these liner notes and whatnot. In fact, even the Barney James one had liner notes from Rick Wakeman. This, where did I put it? Second to last. In fact, I think I picked this one up. The Great Crash, is a bit like early Elton John, that kind of singer-songwriter Americana feel, but with that kind of ironic twist that Bernie Taupin gave lyrics, so that's kind of going on there. And then finally, the big one that I'd recommend to SOT people is As You Like It, Ages Come and Ages Go. This is as close to Gentle Giant as you will possibly get without listening to Gentle Giant. Ages come and ages go. So it's one of those ones where you can't particularly say, everybody will love all these things. You just need to say, if you like, then you might like. It's one of those kind of scenarios. But there are loads of kind of sessiony guys in these bands. Like, for example, John Grimaldi's in this band, and he would go on to join Argent. So it's one of those kind of situations as well, where a lot of these guys would become not major players, but kind of guys that we'll see in liner notes for bands for years to come, but never quite made the grade. So Sealy Court, SEELIE, and then Court, make these, and they do vinyl editions as well. So they've got a good back catalogue. They're obscure enough that they're not out of print yet, but snap them up before they go out of print, because these prog, psych, rock, folk as well, it's very much SOT friendly stuff if you read up on it. So Sealy Court is a kind of broad recommendation rather than one specific album or pickup.
Yeah, a lot of cool rarities on that label. So I've picked up a few over the years. Good stuff. All right, Scott.
Thank you, sir. Good morning. So I picked this up recently at Piranha Records in Round Rock, Texas, a couple of months ago, actually. Ran me $30. It's ZZ Top complete studio albums, 1970 to 1990.
I've been looking for that. Yeah.
Mandatory.
The first 10. studio albums by ZZ Top in replica record sleeves, like these.
Cool.
And they've been remastered. And this is very important with the original drum mixes.
100%.
Somebody at the label or somebody somewhere, I don't know who decided to do this, but when in 1987 CDs were becoming the thing and they were pushing out vinyl, everything was being
Bill
remixed.
Ham.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Bill Ham.
Just a
I think
ham
I've
and a
heard that
ham.
before.
Which I just
Anyway,
bought.
somebody
that
decided to
remix
dub in a
stuff.
more modern drum sound and wanted to make them sound a little more like Eliminator and Afterburner. They did that on the first 5 albums. And this ended up being a terrible idea. I remember when I first heard the CD version of LaGrange on the radio. I was up in Dallas at the time, and I just remember hearing those drums, that drum break on LaGrange, bubba da bubba da bubba da bubba, and it was like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
It stuck out like a turtle.
Yeah.
And
But why would they do that?
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
thought-
and they
they
thought,
thought it was-
did they
I'll
hear
tell
some
you why,
people were gonna
Armando,
notice?
because Eliminator sold like a gazillion
Yeah.
copies. They
Yeah,
figured, well, let's
I
make
get
the whole
that.
thing sound just like that. Ugh.
But if it ain't
MTV,
broke,
everything,
try and
yeah.
fix it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, this was not fixed for decades. They
Yep.
not on CDs. You had to get
Jamie's off for his 6-pack.
hear how it originally sounded, and they did issue Tres Hombres and Fandango in the early 2000s.
Ah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, I saw Jamie just got that recently. Yeah, I was
I
like,
was curious. I never heard the
Good.
full albums done that way. And it was $10. I'm like, I'm curious, especially the first album. I want to hear how they made that so more Eliminator like, because it's so
Yeah.
bluesy
Yeah.
and earthy.
but
Yeah.
Really
but don't the
weird.
drums kind of just stick out like a sore thumb?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and the reverb.
Yeah, it sounds
Terrible.
horrible. Like it doesn't fit at all. And anyway, Tres Hombres and Fandango got restored to their former glory in the early 2000s. I got those when they came out. First album, Rio Grande Mud and Tejas, though, we had to wait on those till 2013 till this set came out, although they never
Yeah,
released
nuts.
them individually on CD. And I was kind of waiting for that. That's why I
Yep.
kind of getting this thing. But I just decided, okay, time to pull the trigger. Just go ahead and do it. And they all sound great. And I also got to add finally to my collection, which I kind of hadn't, these two. Not my favorites, but they have their moments. I know Jamie's a big fan of this.
I like it.
Hey, we all like
I
that.
remember when that came out. That's not as popular as Eliminator, but
Yeah, exactly.
It is,
So
sadly.
anyway, that's why I held off. But in true curse form, I did buy the box, and for a good price. Redundancies be damned. I've owned Tres Hombres and Fandango, I think about 4 times now in various formats, and 3 times. And the only one in the box I had never had before are Afterburner and Recycler. But they do have their moments, and it's nice to complete the collection. So that completes at least all the studio albums. Another thing that I kind of wish they had done is just added maybe some extras, and maybe a couple of nice live shows from the 70s and 80s. That would have been cool. But I guess we're gonna have to wait for them to reissue all over again.
Wait for the super deluxes.
Yeah, and we'll buy it again, right?
Mhm.
So
We
Scott,
will.
just out of
The curse.
curiosity, Scott, 'cause I bought that
Curse is
box.
real.
I think I bought my box 2 years ago, and I remember it being really reasonable, but I don't remember exactly how much I paid for it. I know it was under $40. Just out of curiosity, in what range? How much did you pay for that? About?
Oh, I got it for 30.
Okay, yeah, I don't think mine was over 40 2 years ago.
$3 and a hope.
Did
And
you
when
buy
I
it
was-
new or used?
when I was
I
looking,
bought
it
it
was going
new.
for like
I bought it new.
150 on Amazon, like secondary sellers.
How much, Armando?
150.
150 it is now.
Good God.
Yeah,
But
Is it
the
out of
thing is-
print or something?
But the thing is, very quickly, these are from secondary sellers,
Yeah.
right? Like not directly through Amazon. So I'm sorry.
well, that
As much
means
as
it's
I-
out of print
Wow.
then, because if they're
Yeah.
charging
Yeah.
that much now, because they weren't a year or two ago, that means
Yeah, I know. I remember that. And I saw it in the stores when it was in print. I'm like, now I can't find it. So I'm not paying
Yeah,
150
keep
bucks.
searching. I bet you if you look on eBay or on,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Discogs, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
believe me, I'm a bargain hunter.
Yeah. Well, same here, dumpster diver all the way, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
great
no,
set.
really.
I love it. I've listened to
Yeah.
it.
So if you
Mhm.
don't have it, get it, and try to find a deal on it. Don't pay
Yeah.
150 for it.
Oh, no.
Unless you're a millionaire like me.
I spent too much money already, so we won't go there.
All right, Armando, what do you got first off here today?
Well, as I've said before, Pete, you're a very bad influence. A very bad influence. And I thank you so much.
The drugs
I
again.
mean well. I really do mean well.
Yes, I know you mean well. I'll send you my bills. Seriously, let's talk some Nazareth, shall we?
Oh.
Okay. Let's go to Scotland here. Talk some Nazareth.
I know we are.
I picked up some of the back catalog because I was asking online what are the albums to get, and I got a stack of them. Starting with sorry, my hands aren't working right now properly,
okay.
but
It's okay.
I got the reissues from Salvo Music. This is the first album and the second album.
Yep.
Some of the reissues on Salvo have two albums in one, right? And I thought, if you're gonna buy one, buy them all, because you know what? I'm nuts. I'm crazy. I mean, that's the way it is, right? And I found them on Amazon through a secondary seller by the name of Nigiri in Switzerland. And I've been dealing with this seller for like 10 years. And these albums, again, some of them, like the first two are on one disc, like the 2-in-1 discs. And I'll show this one here too quickly, because I, don't want to take up too much time. But this is mid-range period. Where is it? Can't even read here right now. This is the two albums in the mid period.
Close enough for rock and roll, loud to proud.
No,
Yeah,
okay.
and these albums have some bonus tracks. Where is it? Playing the Game is there's a bonus track called Good Love on it. So some of the
Oh, it's Playing the Game. I said loud and proud. I'm sorry. Yeah, Playing the Game.
Playing the Game, yeah. Sorry. And the bonus track on this one for Playing the Game is Good Love. And I'm telling you, the music on this, like on the first album, when I heard their cover of Morning Dew, forget it. Just unreal. Unreal. But there is one I really want to show you really quickly. And it's the Expect No Mercy CD. I have it here. And I paid for this one, I paid like 19 bucks from the same seller, from the Jerry. This one here has the alternate album version on it. They did a version for A&M. It was rejected and they re-recorded it. This has 20 tracks, both versions of the album. Amazing. Amazing. Guys, if you want to get some good, just ass-shaking hard rock, this is for you. And we're talking in terms of price points, we're talking between $11.99 and $19.99 at the maximum. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with this stuff. And the way you can tell that these are the Salvo releases, I'll show you just one more quickly. I wish my hands were working properly. There's a sticker on the front with Dan McCafferty's picture on it. So that's how you can tell them from other releases, right? Where, and these are the Salvo ones, Salvo music. So yeah, that's my first one for today. And any one of these releases, you can't go wrong. The music is amazing. And some of the albums have like live recordings, like just some live broadcasts. And if you can get past the announcer talking in between the music for announcing, you're fine. So yeah, that's my first one.
Just out of curiosity, did you also get Razmanaz, Loud and Proud, and
No Mean City?
Yeah.
I didn't get No Mean City yet, but I got Razamanaz, Loud and Proud, and hold on. See, got this one.
Rampant. You probably got Rampant too, I would imagine. Yeah, there you go.
This one.
Yeah, No Means City is my absolute favorite. Absolute favorite.
That's probably their last really great one. I think Malice in Wonderland too. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Malice in Wonderland is probably their last like really strong one.
Yeah. The new album's pretty good. I mean, it's not Dan anymore, obviously, but the new, for what it is, it's it's a legacy band still making music rather than just playing live. So we can always appreciate that.
I mean, I've always liked, just quickly, I've always liked Nazareth. Like I've got the greatest hits, the anthology, the double disc. I wanted to delve into the catalog, and I asked on Facebook one night, where should I go? And Pete just said, "No, okay, you should get this, and this." I looked it all up. It's like $120 with taxes and stuff. So done. I mean, like, you can't go
Not
wrong
bad.
with it.
Yeah.
And No Mean City is next on the list.
There you go. Yeah, then
Right.
you will be complete, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but
Or
this,
close to it anyway. Close to it.
I just think I just really think they're just a really good hard rocking melodic band, right? And
Very unique. Yeah.
Yeah, very unique. There's only one Nazareth.
All right, let's move up to Nick.
Alrighty.
Nick
Well-
is in his basement, I see.
Yep. I figure this is the area where everything is, so why not come down here and just relax? There are other times where I was upstairs and saw my Godzilla poster. I said, you know what? I'm going to come down here. I'm going to show off Pete's favorite, the complete studio recordings.
The dreaded Magma.
Yep.
That is kind of cool looking though.
Yep. It's a little novelty, but anyway.
Yeah, but I love the paperweight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll show it to you quickly. Then I'll get onto the actual item. Like I said, I gotta do the joke novelty items every once in a while. So these are all the studio recordings of the names that I can't
Favorite
pronounce.
band.
Yeah, no, that is a nice looking set though. I will admit.
It is.
Yeah.
All right.
I won't be buying it, but it's a nice.
Yeah, but I'll see if
I've already,
the
I've already
gonna
bought
say,
the whole
yeah, you won't buy
discography
it,
and got rid of them. I'm not buying it again.
Yeah.
I may pick
Yeah.
Nazareth CDs in it. Yeah.
All right. So when you think of the 1980s, what do you think of? The decade of excess. You think of everyone with Jerry curls, poofy wigs, Valley Girls, everything like that. Well, I went on Frontiers Records and they do have a lot of neat stuff, but you are right. Some of their releases are starting to sound a lot similar. So LA Guns, made in Milan. I'll admit I'm a self-professed D. Snyder fanboy. Sorry I put you through all that crap last year, Pete. They've got all the stuff you'd hear on the radio, and of course you would play this on the House of Hair. No Mercy, Electric Gypsy, Killing Machine, Full Soul / Over the Edge, The Bitch Is Back, Sex Action, Speed, One More Reason, Kiss My Love Goodbye, Don't Look at Me That Way, Malaria, Never Enough, Jelly Jam, The Ballad of Jane, Rip and Tear. It's pretty much just a straightforward kick your ass concert of their greatest hits, where they're still releasing music and they're still kind of glamming it up, but they're in their 50s. They're not in their early 20s anymore. So if you pretty much just want a poodleish hard rock band in Italy performing some rather actually pretty good tunes with some sick guitar work, I recommend this concert. It's like an hour and 10 minutes long or something like that. And best part, it's region free compared to all that with all the PAL formats and stuff. That's really annoying.
And that you said that was recorded in Italy, right? A concert in Italy.
Milan, yeah.
Yeah, it's what
Yeah,
they do.
2017.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, I know most of the live stuff that the Frontier.
Jamie's gone again.
They record and film right there in Italy. They don't go grab some UK or whatever. So
Yeah.
Cool.
They're not going to Greenland. They'll say that.
No, they're not. They're not.
Yeah.
All right. I'll do my big one first. I'll get this out of the way. I've been waiting to show this for weeks. The White Snake Slide It In Deluxe box set. To me, this is the best one they put out so far. I like the 87 box set too, but this is the granddaddy of all of them. See, Davey's got one too. And a lot of content on here. I'll just briefly show it off as best as I can. So you get a very cool book, hardback book, which basically chronicles the whole leading up to the making of this album, what happened with the personnel changes. It's got like lyrics in here and, you know, stuff about the tour and all sorts of press releases, and very, very cool. You've got the official tour program in mini size, which is awesome. And it's actually cool because, you know, they created this when Mel Galley and John Lord were still in the band. And obviously they started the tour, and then John Lord went back to Deep Purple, and Mel Galley broke his arm, and that was that. So they continued on with as a 4-piece. And then of course Cozy left after the tour, but this is really cool. It's you know,
you mean Cozy effing Powell.
Cozy fucking Powell, that's right. But if you grew up in the 80s like I did, and you know, going to concerts quite a bit, and especially in the early part of the decade, you bought these at every, or you know, obviously it was much bigger, but this is what you bought at the show with a t-shirt. Then we got a poster, which is basically the album cover, right? So there's that. And then, you know, all the really, really good stuff. So you've got a DVD with all the videos they did in support of this album, as well as Top of the Pops doing Give Me More Time, a couple promo videos. The Top of the Pops thing is really cool because they're all up there lip syncing, obviously. But it's the full band. So you got Mel Galley and Sykes together. You've got a clip here when Mel Galley, when Mickey Moody was still in the band, because of course after they recorded the album, he left. They brought in Sykes. They did the US version. There is a UK and a US version of this. You've also got Live in Sweden from 1984 featuring John Lord. No Mel Galley on that, but that's with Sykes. And then you got a Coverdale interview. What else we have? So we have Live in Glasgow, 1984, a live concert featuring the full lineup, okay, which is really cool. It's not great, I don't think. The band plays great. Coverdale doesn't sound good. And that's why I give it like a 3 out of 5, because I think the band, it's terrific to have a live document of that lineup. I just wish Dave sounded better. Dave sounds really rough. But you know, again, you've got, you know, Gambler, Guilty of Love, Ready and Willing, Love Ain't No Stranger, Here I Go Again, Slow and Easy, Crying in the Rain, Lord keyboard solo, Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City, Fool for Your Lovin', I Need Your Love So Bad, Thank You Blues, Slide It In, and Don't Break My Heart Again. The set list is terrific. I wish David sounded a little bit better, but you know, it's an honest recording, and for that you got to have it. Then you got the 35th anniversary US remix of the album. You also have the American remix album, okay, which is for all the folks here from the US. That's what we kind of grew up with. Then you've got the original UK mix. You've got
real one
mixes and all the rare stuff. This is, you know, all the alternate versions and all that other kind of stuff. And then last but not least, you got early rough mixes, original demos, and assorted odds and ends. You know, this kind of stuff you listen to once or twice, and then that's about it. But you know, the meat and potatoes of this is to get the full US mix, remix, the UK remix, the 35th anniversary remix, and then of course the booklet and all that kind of cool stuff. So all in all, a great set. I ordered this from Amazon, and I think it was only like $50 or something.
There's such good value. They're always that
not
price.
Expensive at all. I was amazed at how little I paid for it. And
you see here in Canada on Amazon, sorry Pete, that's like $85.
Yeah, no, I definitely was not that much when I got it.
Now they're about for 45
That's not too bad,
pounds.
really, for all that.
Yeah,
Which-
it may have been a
which-
little over 50, but it wasn't over like, I don't believe this was over $60 or $70. I'm pretty sure it was like 50. I think it was $59.99 when I bought it, but I've had it for a couple of months. So.
Very, very briefly, because I know we're not wanting to spend too long on today with commitments for people, but that's John Lord's last appearance with the band on that Swedish TV show, so it's like an historical piece of interest as well. So they're all ridiculously hungover because that was recorded about 7 a.m. for children's television. Whitesnake on children's Swedish television, completely hungover.
And they're playing in like a lounge, right? So there's always people sitting at tables and things like that. It's kind of weird, but it's really good.
But if you thought that was the last remix, he's done it again already. The new greatest hits adds Derek Sherinian and new John Sykes parts that were never on any of those versions for these tracks. Yeah. So he's remixed it for the third time in 4 years.
Yeah.
Quick question.
wondering. Sorry, go ahead, Scott. My fault.
Just a quick question. Do we often take about a dozen drinks after you said John Sykes' name so many times?
Oh, I don't know. I've just been
When
drinking
Butch
anyway,
Jones
so,
says
yeah.
it.
I'm already finished my coffee, so
In
I'm
honor
good.
of Butch Jones, yes. Everybody
Yep.
take it.
Take a sip. Fine. One more.
There
I
you
just
go.
like the idea that David goes to the toilet and finds unreleased John Sykes stuff that he can just stick on. You know, it's like,
just
oh,
everywhere.
really?
In
You
honor
didn't
of
know
Butch
that.
Jones. We love you,
You
Butch.
didn't know you had it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
sure.
everywhere. But it's a great box set. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Because I
Yeah.
put off buying it for a couple of years. I was like, and I was just like, why didn't I get this? I'm going to get it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I did.
I'm
I
not
was
as
just
big a
wondering-
Whitesnake fan as you, but if I was going to get any of their stuff on box set, that would be it.
That's the one.
Mhm.
I
That's
was
the one.
just wondering, Pete, which version of the album do you prefer? Like the US?
Watch the UK connection from a few weeks ago, and you've
No. I'm just
There's only one answer to that, Armando, the US version, because that's the one I know
Okay.
and love.
All right.
there's one answer, Armando, and Pete just got the wrong one. So
there you go. There you go. Everyone has opinions, Davey.
Yeah.
So
basically whatever you grew up with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah, well,
All right, back to Jamie.
All right, Pete, I recently got this in near mint condition, original
Nice.
pressing. That cover, when it's on a big album, oh man, it makes me want the t-shirt. So my wife yells at me when I wear it, like you.
My wife hates that shirt.
oh my
Why did
And
you
I
buy
gotta
that?
ask,
Like, because it's a great album. It's a great album cover.
Mhm.
She's like, yeah, no.
Slide It In became your favorite Whitesnake album recently is because of that box set. Did that help boost it?
It's you know what? It's been coming on for a couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that kind of cemented it. Yeah, I just
The UK connection seemed to be like therapy for you as well, kind of working through it. So
Yeah. yeah.
Hey, Davey, what time is it there where you're at?
I've got no idea. Let me check my phone.
5:05.
5:05.
5:05?
Tell me what it is.
I'm on Davey time.
Yeah,
That's the rule. When you Zoom with someone, you can borrow their time.
It's always 5 o'clock. Something. Well, no,
That's
it's not
right.
gonna go
Here we
through,
go.
Yep,
Here
it's
we
5
go.
o'clock where he is.
but,
Let's go with
So
that.
I'm going to use my new cult koozie too.
There you go.
So am I allowed to talk about a band that most people hate on Sea of Tranquility?
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's the last episode anyway, so to hell with it. Of Collector's Corner, I think. I don't know. I hope I didn't spill the beans.
We don't know yet.
Oh, we don't know yet. Okay. Sorry. So
spilled the
back in
beans.
1994, I lived on Mount Washington of Pittsburgh, which was about 2 blocks away from, the lookout of where you see the city and you see the incline sometimes when you watch a Steeler game. And I was 24 years old, and all we did is basically drink up there and smoke pot when I wasn't working. It's amazing. I had to be at work at 9 a.m. My buddy would get off work at midnight, roll in with all his boys around 12:30 at night, and we would start drinking at 12:30 at night, and I'd make it to work at 9 in that same morning. I don't know how I did it. Anyways, in 1994, Pearl Jam did a live broadcast via satellite to a bunch of radio stations nationwide. I don't know if it was worldwide or not. It might have been. So all my buddies came over, and we got a keg of beer because we always got a huge half keg of beer. No matter if there were 3 of us, we still got a keg of beer. And we would always go get a case of beer. If we're going to get a case, get a party ball. Going to get a party ball, get a quarter. If you're going to get a quarter, let's just get a half. So that's how it always went. And we sat there and we listened to it. And I taped it on cassette. And I always had that cassette, and it rocked. And with time, the cassette just kind of disappeared. And I always remembered it, over the next 25 years. But I didn't think to go out and look for it at all. Because I guess I'm old school and I forget things are out there now on YouTube and everything, and bootlegs and everything like that. So I did go out on YouTube about a year ago, and I streamed it and then taped it back onto cassettes like the old school days. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. I'll be playing my old cassettes and, bring back memories. And then I was in Cincinnati a couple weeks ago where I bought Pete some Tom Petty CDs, and I came across this. Pearl Jam live, it's called a live. It's not an official release. It has 10 live CDs in it, as you can see. And this was only
think I've
20
seen
bucks for all these live performances.
Dang.
The thing is, well, and I saw on here that 1994 concert that me and my buddies listened to is on here. Done. So I brought it home, and I see Some of these concerts are continued on the next CD. Some of them are abbreviated to fit on one CD. And the 2-hour concert we listened to is abbreviated. That's worse than not having it at all.
I hate that. I bloody
So I'm
hate
like,
that.
I'll just listen to my stupid little cassette I made last year. But then I was like, you know what? Let's go on eBay and see. I found the whole thing on eBay right there.
Of course.
And it's, you know what? I listened to it again. I listened to it twice in the last week. It's one of the best live performances ever put on tape. If you ask me, this is a young band, just full of energy, out to prove something, and they play like they know they're playing to the whole country. You know, you could just feel it. And I mean, Doug from King's X shows up and sings with them on WMA. The porch is like 11 minutes long. Pete, I think you would find something to like in that, because for like 6 minutes, it just jams. It's just, you know, it's like Allman Brothers, if their Allman Brothers were a grunge band, kind of.
He's a good guitar player. I got nothing.
Oh, yeah, he's so underrated, I think. And it's the first time that any Pearl Jam fan ever heard Better Man, which was a big hit for them about, I don't know, 6 or 7 months later. So yeah, there you go. Brings back memories. When I listen to it now, 52, brings me back being 24 with my buddies and the speakers going and, you know, fun times. And the big gravity bong in the middle of the made out of an orange juice container and a pitcher of water. If you don't know what that is, Google it.
So Jamie, they would have been
touring
touring
here.
Sorry, Jamie, they would have been touring off of Versus on this one.
Yes, with the next one, Vitalogy, right around the corner.
Right, and Vitalogy had Better Man.
Yeah.
And the Neil Young record the next year.
Fox Theater, Atlanta, Georgia, April 3rd, 1994. It's out on YouTube. And
Fox Theater, man. Yeah.
What's really cool is when this is not on the CD or the YouTube broadcast, but when they broadcast it live, broadcasted isn't a word, is it?
No, it's not. No.
Yes. Broadcast live. They kept the tape rolling when they went backstage. The band went backstage. And one of the guys said, hey, you guys got to hear this song. It's really cool. And they put in Dogman by King's X and played the Cigarette song. And that's the first time I heard that Cigarette song, and it was on my tape. I'm like, that's kick-ass. And I went out and bought Dogman. And the rest of the album, I was like, I'm not sure, but I like that Cigarette song. But like Pete, just recently, I came back around to King's X, and now I'm kind of digging them, including the rest of Dogman. There you go.
Cool.
Do you know they just played Hyde Park last week, and their special guest was John McEnroe, the tennis player, came out and played guitar with Pearl Jam at Hyde Park.
He's supposedly a really good player. Yeah, he's a big rock fan.
Huh.
Yeah. God, can you imagine being his guitar tech if you mess something up?
Oof. Okay.
Are you serious?
He's serious. All right, David, you're up.
Oh, yes, it's me. Sorry, I was too busy interrupting myself there. So one of my favorite acts from the 60s who are quintessentially 60s in my mind and will ever encapsulate that era is Love. There's Forever Changes, the great Forever Changes, the third record. And recently I picked up the DVD Love Story, not the Ryan O'Neal movie. This is much better than that. There's no cancer in it and stuff. It's much, much happier. But it's a terrific documentary. But do you know what it does? It does that thing that I hate, where it mythologizes one person in a band above everybody else. So it's very much the love story, but really the Arthur Lee story. So I said, I remember thinking that the best songs that I liked from Forever Changes were written by Brian McLean. So I went out and found this from Sundays, Brian McLean, If You Believe In, which is most of his demos that he recorded and gave to the band. So the first track on Forever Changes is what's it called again? Alone Again, or I heard a funny thing somebody said to me. Great song, mariachi horns and everything. It's absolutely fantastic. Elektra had big hopes for them being even. They thought they were going to be the big band, and the Doors were going to be a minor success. Kind of worked out the other way around, but this lets you hear where Brian was kind of the George Harrison of the band, where he was coming up with all this terrific stuff, but yet Arthur Lee was such a force of nature that everybody thinks Love is Arthur Lee's pet project, when actually 3 of the best tracks on this record are written by Brian McLean, and you would only know that if you heard this, because here's his original versions of them. So you get his original version of like Orange Skies, Alone Again, or Old Man, not the Neil Young one, unfortunately, but he does a version of Old Man from this, along with other things that would pop up on Da Capo and a couple of other Love projects that have been released over the years. But it was really an illustration, just like my prior pick, rather than pick one specific thing, just of the idea that Arthur gets all the credit for this record and for Love in general, but it's actually Brian who gives it the heart. Arthur might have been the soul and the image, but to me, Love was a band and Brian was a major part of it. And it's record labels like Silly Court or like Sundays tier with their reissue series that shine a spotlight on these kind of things that just helps you increase your musical knowledge and appreciation for these people who you just wouldn't otherwise. They would just always be kind of kept behind closed doors, and you would need to be an uber fanboy reading up to really know these things. So yeah, just fantastic. If you like Love, Brian McLean's album, If You Believe In It, is just a demos album, so don't expect it to sound like Forever Changes. But yeah, this is a quintessential companion piece to that classic album of the 60s. So, there you go.
Cool.
Very cool.
Scott.
Just so you know, when you were mentioning that documentary about about Love, and they were just talking about the one individual, that happened with me. I bought an ELO documentary, and all they were doing was talking about Jeff Lynne and how he was wonderful, and he was, yes, he was the main songwriter, but at one point he was recreating when he recorded Don't Bring Me Down.
Yeah, the redo.
They were showing him on the drums, on the bass, on the keyboards. I was just like, you know what? We all know you're a multi-instrumentalist. Fuck off already. Talk about the band, right? And they never did. I threw the DVD out. I was so disappointed in it because it was just all about Jeff Lynne and his solo stuff, Traveling Wilburys, and I was just like, enough. Okay,
I don't know if this was the same one, but wasn't that actually called? Wasn't that actually called Jeff Lynne, Don't Bring Me Down?
No, I do believe ELO was mentioned on the cover. I'm just saying, it's just like,
because
it's a band. It's supposed to be like a band representation, and this
I'd say at one point they did become Jeff Lynne, really, to be honest. But yeah.
But anyways, very quickly, okay, we're going to go to Ireland now. We're going to talk U2, guys.
Hold on, Scott's first.
I'm up.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Armando.
Hey, everybody back from Ireland. Come on now. Get your passports back.
It must be Bailey's in my coffee. My apologies. I am so sorry. Go ahead.
No problem, man. All right. So I'm going to cheat just a little bit on my second pick. Call it a mulligan, call it a Pardo. But I've just recently picked up both of these Scorpions albums from the Yulee John Roth era. And Virgin Killer.
Mandatory.
And they're both Japanese pressings, obviously, with the strips intact, and both from the same Discogs seller. So file these under Better Late Than Never. It's just one of those things. I got into the Scorps in the early 80s, starting with Blackout. I worked my way back to Love Drive and Animal Magnetism, and hung on through Love at First Sting, saw the band on that tour. They kicked ass. But for some reason, I never really picked up anything from the Roth era. And that might be partially because I never heard any of those songs on the radio. Back in
I actually envy you right now, Scott, to be getting into the Yulee era for the first time now. You are in for a treat, my friend.
Yeah, and that's largely in part because of you and other people on the channel that have been talking this up, talking this era up, and you're so right. It's not the first album I have from that era. I do have Tokyo tapes. That's like the one I've been able to find. And for some reason, I don't know if these are out of print or what, but I don't see them in the wild ever, and I've been looking for
People hold on to them.
yeah. The only one I was able to find in the store was Tokyo tapes. And that's a great live set, great little sampling of that era. And the band is on fire there, but finally good to get some of the studio material. And like I said, I didn't really hear them on the radio back then. And I know radio is a dirty word these days, but back then, if it wasn't on the radio, it just kind of didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure a lot of people, when they were getting exposed to music, that's kind of how it was.
Yeah, the Uli era was import.
So many other sources to go to.
Really?
To music and
Only on import
things.
Yeah, until I think Love Drive was the first domestically available album here, if I remember correctly.
Oh, is that correct? I do remember
pretty late in the day.
I do remember seeing these albums in the stores on vinyl back in the day.
I don't know, for here in New York, you only
Pull 'em
saw them
off.
on imports.
Yeah. But Sea of Tranquility has really helped me kind of rekindle some of my love for classic metal and hard rock. And I got, from watching, I was motivated to check these out. But I'd heard the albums on YouTube, and I'm probably going to get Take It By Force next. That'll probably.
Mhm.
Lights of the Rainbow is great too.
That has got the weirdest freaking album cover.
Yeah, that
You can see that, but quite a few of their stuff. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, local
But I want to
store.
get that one too. I'll probably get Lonesome Crow too. That's probably my least favorite of the bunch. I mean, it's a little more folky, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like acid rock. That's well worth getting to, though.
It's
It's
not the
got
first
a 15-year-old Michael Schenker on it, so
Yeah, I've listened to all of them, and they all sound good to varying degrees. But yeah, these
I'm seeing Schenker in about
that I
3
had to
weeks. I'm
have,
looking forward
you
to
know.
that.
Yeah, and I kind of like how Roth sings on a few of the songs. Kind of breaks it up. He's not as good a singer as Klaus, but
Mm.
he's got a really unique voice that I think.
Yeah, it's unique. You can
itself to
definitely tell the
this.
difference.
Yeah.
He's also
Perfect
got
for
a
the
very
material.
distinctive way of
Perfect for
playing.
the material. Yeah.
Yeah, his playing style very different from Matthias Jab's.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can definitely they're definitely a little more hard rocking in this period. A little, they got a little more pop oriented, and
Yeah.
again, eventually got to a degree of pop orientation that yeah, they just I was out.
Yeah.
Didn't really
Yeah.
do it
Yeah.
for me anymore. Up through Love at First Sting, everything's pretty solid. But yeah, after that, they kind of lost me. But anyway, could kick myself for not getting these earlier, but like I said, better late than never. And Rock Believer, I'm actually liking that one. That's the first of theirs I bought since Love at First Sting, I think, or Worldwide Live maybe. But
Rock Believer is very solid. Yep.
Yeah,
it's
I
the
loved
most.
it when
It's
it
pretty
the,
came
solid.
out. I loved
Yeah.
it when it came out, and then I just stopped listening to it. You know how that happens sometimes?
yeah. It's great for like. Wow, this sounds like one of their classics. Then you think, why would I not listen to one of the classics over it though? It's got that kind of problem. So.
It's a bit of a firecracker CD. It's boom, wow, and then it's over.
Yeah, I think for me, it's like you want to keep listening to it, but I have 50 other things I have to listen to.
Yes.
Well,
yeah.
So it's hard.
there you go. And
Yeah.
that's part of the curse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Too many things.
yeah.
Well, enjoy those Scorpions albums. Those are,
Oh,
those are damn good.
absolutely. I am definitely doing that.
Oh, I
Cool.
got to get into the Scorpions now. Try and go back
Yes,
and
that's
listen
right.
to the early
Yeah.
stuff.
Check them on YouTube first. Come on now.
Yeah.
Armando, take us back to Ireland.
Sorry
Yeah.
about that. I am
I've got
so
a feeling
sorry.
we're going to you two next.
We are going back to Ireland, and we're going. I am very sorry about that. I am. We're
No.
going to go back to Ireland, guys, and we're going to talk some U2. All right. I know they're one of Pete's favorite bands, guys, and specifically, we're going to talk Achtung Baby. All right, from '91. What? And Bob's going to join me here on this because I have the huge 20th anniversary super deluxe box set. Came out in 2011. And
What the?
we're gonna do this. Everyone say hi, Bob.
What's up, Bob?
Yeah, Bob.
Come on in.
Hello.
Okay, and it's a 10 CD, 10 disc set. You have six discs and four DVDs. What you have here is the remastered Octung Baby. You have Zooropa, the follow-up. You have about 20 discs of remixes and B-sides. You also have, in terms of DVD content, you have the documentary From the Sky Down, which talks about the making of the album.
Should just happen right here. That's that.
There you go. And you also have the Zoo TV concert that was done from Sydney, Australia. There you go. Yes, I had that very same one.
Yeah.
This one I paid at the time, I paid $150 for, right? On Amazon right now, it goes for about $310 through a secondary seller. I looked up, you can get this set on Discogs at a price point of about $178. So for all the content that you get, it's pretty good. And for me, this is going to cost probably some bullshit, but this is my favorite U2 album because
My favorite too.
Baby yet,
I'll go with that as well.
because for me, in terms of
I heard it.
the production, he worked with Brian Eno and Daniel Lanois, and the production to me always reminded me of the Bowie Berlin period.
Yeah.
Low, Larger, Heroes, that kind of production. And I just think it's a great album. It's a really
And The
good
Fly
album.
kind of reminds me a little bit of like Jimi Hendrix when it opens with that guitar.
Yeah. It's just to me, this was their zenith.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to
Yeah.
get some comments in the
Well,
comments
Armando,
down below, but
you
it's-
were commenting the other day
Yes.
on the over one of your writers, Ryan Gavalier, his Ryan's Final Destination. We're doing a U2 series and we're going through the full catalogue, and this is very much my era of U2. Those two albums, Europa and Achtung Baby, are just not for everyone. I'm not saying if you're a big rock fan you're going to love these albums, but wow.
All I'm going to say is, for me, Achtung Baby was the pinnacle for me.
Mhm.
And Zooropa, because it came out while they were still doing the Zoo TV tour, right? Like they recorded it. Some of Zooropa sounds is good, but it's, to me, and you're gonna get pissed off at me, David, but I don't give a shit. It doesn't stand the test of time for me.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that,
Outstanding.
Armando.
Sorry?
That one I don't care for as much.
It's a much more adventurous album. Oh, come on. Well, we're not reviewing the U2 ranking the album
Anyways,
series,
but that is my
go to
second
Ryan's
place.
Vinyl Destination, folks, and check out those videos. So,
There you go.
It does have Johnny Cash on it though.
I went wandering. That's right. Yep.
No Johnny Cash for me. I'm sorry, can't do it. Refuse. But that album for me, again, was the zenith, the pinnacle, whatever you want to call it. And for the price of $178,
Yeah.
for you can't go wrong, really.
Sounds like you got a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's heavy. Like it's Bob has to carry it for me. I can't do it. It's so bloody heavy. But yeah, it's good.
Sometimes you can't make it on your own. That's a YouTube pun there.
Very good. Moving on.
All right, Nick. You're fine.
All right. The curse is real, folks. I've been bitten with it. I'm going to rapid fire all these counters. I got some artwork on exactly what I show. Evil Invaders, Surge of Insanity. I can't pronounce these, so I'm just doing these rapid fire. So all the viewers, just pause them. Behemoth, Transatlantic, live at Manchester.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool.
Arcturus, Sideshow Symphonies, Satyricon, Black Metal, live at the Opera. Orange Goblin, again, artwork's kind of risque. I don't want you getting demonetized, Pete. So, the Eulogy for the Damned.
At 14 pence that YouTube pays these days.
We already did this.
Yeah.
Early in Marbles on the Road. Primordial, thank you,
A
Ryan
little-
Scout, for this one. All Empire Fall.
Oh, yeah.
Traditional Hippie Convention 2005. Forgot. I think I got this from Walk from Greg. Unitopia. Transatlantic Live in Europe.
Brilliant.
Kaleidoscope. Behemoth. Crush.
Nick's busy.
Well, I can't wait to see the if anyone has the YouTube the subtitles on, see them censor the F word. Magenta.
Nick's not cursed, he's hexed.
Yeah.
That's just the first half. Like I said, I'm trying to respect everyone's time because I do
The
have
first half.
Sunday night.
Oh,
In
sweet
flames.
Jesus.
Good flag.
News reviews. Tachron Fist. We Are the Legion. Metal Attack Part 1. Part 2 is going for 50 online. Most of these I paid anywhere 20-ish bucks. It's honestly not a bad price. Man of War. I was going to look for a sword, a replica sword for them, but I couldn't find it. Transatlantic Live in Europe. This is all within the past month. A spot show. Night of
Mm.
Transatlantic again, live from Shepherd's Bush Empire, London. Stream of Passion featuring Arion.
Yes,
Live.
folks, Transatlantic have more live albums than they have studio albums at this point.
Yes, by far. To be fair, so the
Real
Marillion, so Pete must feel quite at home with them.
Enslaved. Return to Yggdrasil, live in Berlin. That's the tree and some Norse mythology. Hatfield and North, classic rock legends.
yeah.
Oh, that's a
You're gonna
good
need an
Yep,
extension on your house, Nick, for all that stuff.
German band who saw that the folk metal in Germany was getting too serious, so they included lyrics about sex and stuff like that. Vandenfloss, the Seraphic Works live.
nice.
Assassin, Chaos, and Live Shots, more of a thrash metal band. Symphonic, yes, I've been looking for this one for a while. I love the rendition of
I have that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gates of Delirium, Meshuggah, Immutable, Legion of the Damned, a kind of thrash power metal band. Slaves of Shadow, the Shadow Realm. Marillion, from Stoke Row to Ipanema.
Nima, yeah.
Thank you.
That's essential for early H-era fans.
Yes. ELP, Beyond the Beginning. This is a nice one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
IQ, Stage, Dark Matter,
Nice.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yep.
Live in America and Germany, 2000, whatever.
People like Marillion, they need to get into IQ if they haven't already.
Yep, Marillion, Brave Live,
IQ is good.
2013.
Brave's one of the best albums, and the live version's brilliant.
Marvels in Park.
So is Marbles. Marbles is pretty great.
And the last one I've got here is actually a Japanese cartoon called KM. That was released in 2000. How the hell do you open this?
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Oh, we just watched someone catching the olds in real time there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's quite fun.
He's the youngest one on this call, and he just caught the old.
That was it.
Exactly.
It was literally the moment the olds kicked in. There was, it went from hey to what the hell's this?
Unfortunately, it's water damage. I can't exactly get it open, but it's about a bunch of adorable high school girls in Japan who formed their own band called Hokage Fua Tea Time. And it's about them pretty much just developing their skills and actually going to Shea
Okay.
Stadium in the UK.
And what's the name of that?
K-On.
Good, because I don't want people to Google adorable Japanese schoolgirls and get some different results if they.
Right.
K-on.
If I can get
You
this
can
open.
figure out how to open
I'm trying to.
It's okay, we understand.
All right. While Nick is attempting
All
to
right.
open up his box set, I will
Yeah.
quickly do my last pick of the day. So this is kind of a really cool one. And again, Nick just mentioned Ryan Scow. I have to thank Ryan Scow for this as well. He sent me a text one day and he goes, have you ever heard this cool compilation called Warfaring Strangers, Dark Scorch Canticles? And I'm like, I haven't a clue what that is. So this is a collection of early 70s, and I believe, mostly 70s, really rare proto metal and psych bands that never ever recorded full albums. And so if everybody watching looks at all the different logos on the cover, this will remind you of the early, like the 70s and the 80s, when people were just basically recording demos and putting them on cassette tapes. You would have
I'm selling themselves.
hand-drawn little logos and things. So this
Okay.
Warfaring Strangers is like a whole series of like oddities and rarities by kind of like genre, and they were released as CDs. So this came out in 2014. This is number 48 of however many they made, 100, I don't even know. And so this is the slipcase. So again, it's got all the cool logos, which is kind of neat. And then this is the CD itself. Here's the list of the bands on the back, and then it's got and then here it comes with like this little card of this lovely lady with an acoustic guitar. And on the back, it has all the different series that are available. So you've got Warfaring Strangers, Ladies from the Canyon, you've got guitar solo, Lonesome Heroes, and they have folk releases, rock releases, other assorted odds and ends, and then you've got the booklet, and it's all very kind of like DIY type of feel to it. And here you have some of these were released as just like rare singles and things. And then information on all the bands. It's very kind of garage rocky, early proto metal, occulty, kind of pseudo Sabbath, Zeppelin, Sir Lord Baltimore type of stuff, Iron Butterfly, that sort of thing. Here's like an all black band right there, which is kind of neat, right? So I'll just quickly read the names of the bands, just so you kind of saw them already. But there's some really good stuff on here, and not all of it's great, but it's just for like kind of the purposes if you like really obscure stuff, it's kind of cool. So bands
it's
like
the nature.
Wrath, Stonehenge, Triton Warrior, Junction, Stone Axe, Wizard, Stone Mace, Arrogance, Sonora, Dark Star, Inside, Space Rock, Medusa, Gorgon, Medusa and Gorgon, and Hellstorm. All right, and this ranges from 1971 to 1980. It's mostly early mid 70s stuff. One song from each band. Some of it's really good. Some of it's okay. It ranges from kind of like heavy psych to kind of like Black Sabbath-y type stuff. Heavy Sabbath, your heavy Uriah Heep, Deep Purple, Zeppelin, that sort of thing. So
are they British?
It's called Warfaring Strangers. Dark Scorch Canticles is the name of this particular collection of the series.
Canticles,
like
Canticles,
but Canticles, like
Canticles.
CANTLCLES. So
Okay.
The Canterbury scene, but with
I
heard you mention.
I don't know how they came up with
it
it.
Must have been something.
My guess it's some kind of fantasy connection because of the sword and things like that. But just look up Warfaring Strangers and then Dark Scorch Canticles. I bought this from a seller on Discogs. And they do have a website that has all their releases on it. So you can still order. They're available on CD, LP, and I think they're doing downloads as well. So really, really cool. If you like this sort of like really rare heavy rock from the 70s.
Is it American? Is it British? What's the...
I think it's American, Davey. Yeah. But just check out there.
I heard you mention Stonehenge. Now, was that a song title?
No, it's the name of a band.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Those are all band names that I listed.
I was thinking, it got me thinking of Spinal Tap.
Yeah, that's exactly what I
the
just
Stonehenge
thought.
recording from the band is from 1971. So most of this stuff is pretty old. But the quality of the recordings are decent. And it's just, it's just kind of cool to hear that those, just when you thought you've heard all the bands that did this style of thing in the 70s, not even close. So very cool little collection from 2014. And again, just give you a look at the front. And for
that's
those
great.
Wanting to check into this, that's what it's called right there. Hopefully you can see it. So Warfaring Strangers, Dark Scorch Canticles. So
that cover is like we call them jotters over here. I guess your school notebooks or whatever you call them over there.
Yeah, 100%.
That's exactly it. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
We draw it in our jotters just to tartan them up.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat stuff. So.
I just want to say, watching Nick try to open that box.
Is he
One of
trying to
my
open
favorite
it?
moments on Sea of Tranquility.
Keep looking over there.
It's like the box from Hellraiser. He's trying to open.
Fucking hell. Is it Brad Pitt over there? What's
Like a puzzle.
You couldn't get it open?
I can't wait to rewatch this episode. I'm going to fast forward right to that and watch it again.
I know everybody's going to. What was Pete talking about? I was too busy watching.
Nobody knows what Pete's
the
talking about. Nick's over there like,
Exactly.
I'm
Now,
sitting
this
here
is going to be
cracking
the.
up.
This is
They're
gonna be
waiting
the
to see
curse-
Gwyneth Paltrow's head rolling out.
Yeah.
This is going to be the curse of the bloopers episode. You know, me
Pinhead's
with
gonna
my,
show
my
up.
mistakes, and you know,
Important
Nick
tip,
trying
if
to
we do
open the
another one of
box.
these, have your stuff out of the box before the show starts.
that's what. Yeah, that's what.
Try
I
and
did
listen to it. Try and actually have it in the box. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, to do a music one though, very briefly, I know this isn't a pick or anything, but the new Jedic Shiranian is his manna from heaven. And if people don't have this, just get it.
Yes.
Fucking get it. This is
I
one of the
will get
best
it.
albums
I-
I've
I-
heard in a long time. That
I listened
opening
to
track,
it
The
on YouTube.
Vortex,
I'm
might
gonna-
be the best song I've heard in the last 20
yeah,
years.
it's amazing.
Ooh.
And stay tuned for a
I'm
Derek
gonna get
Shirley
it.
solo catalog album ranking coming up in a couple weeks. So
Ooh.
Boy,
Can't
I'm
wait
I'm
for
gonna
that.
get that. I listened to it on YouTube, and I think it's
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
good.
cool. So thanks for watching, everybody. This episode of The Curse of the Collector. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together.
All the
All the
damn
damn
time.
For Jamie Laszlo, Davey Gallagher, Scott Berry, Armando Venditti, and Nick Yusofi, and I am Pete Pardo. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Stay tuned tomorrow for another episode of my favorite power trio rock bands, as well as the final episode of Album Homework Assignment that's coming up tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you right here once again on Sea of Tranquility. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Cheerio.